Being a CTO of a tech company like Amazon or Google is a very challenging and interesting job. But I have to say, I really love my job and the challenges that it brings as the Chief Product and Technology Officer at Conde Nast. We have a lot of amazing, exciting, world-renowned brands. So we have this interesting, unique challenge of how we bring these amazing, iconic brands closer to our customers as they move to different endpoints and different distribution channels. How do we make them more accessible and increase their reach is an interesting challenge. In addition to that, over the course of the last 18 months, we've gone from being 12 different companies to a single entity. We brought in all of our markets across the globe under a single umbrella. So helping the organization operate as a single global unit by deploying global enterprise systems, global business systems is also quite a challenging task. In addition to that, if you look at our business, we have multiple revenue models, multiple business lines that we pursue. We have our traditional commercial ad-driven business. We have our consumer, direct-to-consumer business line, which has the subscription business, the events business, and then we have the video business. And quite often we find ourselves in this situation where these businesses are sort of competing with each other for the same revenue dollars. And we have to make intelligent, data-driven decisions on where we compromise and where we really want to drive revenue in that particular case. So that's also quite an interesting challenge. And last but not the least, this opportunity for me to work with amazingly talented people in a cross-disciplinary manner, across the globe, is also what keeps me very interested and very challenged in this job. I can't really take full credit for the idea of setting up the technology lab in India. When I started at Conde Nast, we already had an effort in place to set up a technology hub outside of the US and UK. So we were in the process of looking for a location, a specific city and a country and a city where we could find the right level of talent for the plans that we had for growing our technology team. And at the time, having worked with teams in Bangalore, having myself worked in Bangalore a long, long time ago, I was quite aware of the kind of talent pool, not just in Bangalore, but in all of India that we have, the number of engineering schools that we have and the kind of talent that we produce, not just engineering, but in product and design and tech in general, is quite extensive. So it sort of was a no-brainer for us to start a location, pick Bangalore as our location, which is what we ended up doing. And it turned out to be a very successful venture for us. We've scaled from 0 to 500 between Chennai and Bangalore over the course of the last 2 years. We hired our first employee in Bangalore end of July of 2020. Since then, we've scaled up Bangalore to over 300 tech resources. And similarly in Chennai, we've hired over 200, specifically in the data space, AI, machine learning, that sort of discipline. So so far it's been a very successful journey. We are now looking to sort of expand this further, not only in tech, but also in other disciplines within the company. Finance team has already hired a few of their analysts in Bangalore. We're looking at some other areas as well where we need to grow and see if Bangalore is a good location for us to grow those teams as well. So over the course of the next 2 years, our focus is really to try and get work better. The first year was hiring people, and it was still very new. It took us a little time to onboard resources. It took a little time for our teams in London and New York to really understand the ways of working and how to work with a remote team. Not everyone had that experience. So the first year was mostly about onboarding and sort of building the team and understanding the ways of working. But over the course of the last year, I think we've come a long way in terms of how we work. So the next 2 years is really about optimizing the workforce that we have here. And also we have growth plans in pretty much all of the technology areas, especially around data and machine learning and artificial intelligence and driving personalized user experiences, especially around mobile. So we will be growing those areas in India, whether it's Bangalore or Chennai, depending upon where we get talent. And as I also alluded to earlier, so in terms of accelerating our digital product experience in the market, the top 3 priorities, really the first one is taking our experiences that we have today across our brands globally and making them feel more native to mobile. not necessarily building mobile apps. That's probably a very small sliver. But our experiences, if you look at them today, they've mostly all been designed for a desktop screen with a wide screen in mind. But a majority of our audience has moved on to mobile. more than 80% on average of our traffic is mobile, especially outside the US, it's over 90%. So looking at that, even though our experience is designed in terms of, we use responsive design to take that desktop experience and shrink it down to a smaller screen, to a smaller vertical screen, but it's not really a very optimized experience for mobile. So what we're looking to do is look at all of our brands globally and turn our experience to make it feel very, very native to a mobile vertical screen. If you look at what's out there today in the world, whether it's TikTok, whether it is Twitter, Instagram, that kind of an experience is what we want to create across brands globally. The second priority is sort of related to the first one, is really creating an extremely premium experience on our platform. People are so used to interacting with our brands off platform as well, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Twitter. They interact with our brands across all these social channels, and they're very used to a certain type of navigation, a certain type of experience, whether it's vertical videos in TikTok, vertical images in Instagram. What we really want to do on our on platform is really create a very premium experience that combines all these different sort of experiences, whether it's vertical video, vertical images, very interactive storytelling, and combine that with their ability to tell great stories, so which our users cannot get off platform. So our goal is really to create that ultra premium on platform experience to drive more traffic and more engagement on our owned and operated platforms. Over the course of the last year, however, the technology lab has been key in helping us with a number of large projects. They've pretty much participated in every major initiative that we've had as a company. For example, the very successful Met Gala that we had this year and last year, the technology lab played a significant role working with the teams we have in the US and London. Similarly, in terms of our mobile engineering, app engineering, our entire app engineering team is based out of our Bangalore technology lab. So they played a huge role in terms of enhancing the New Yorker app that we have. We are now working on a brand new app for our Bon Appetit subscription product that we are going to launch. We also enhanced and completely rebuilt our Vogue Runway app, which has had phenomenal acceptance from the market. So the technology lab is really helping us in practically every aspect of what we are trying to do from a technology perspective and from a digital product perspective. Even our big initiative last year in terms of migrating all of our markets and all of the products that we have in the markets onto a single technology platform, it was a huge undertaking. And we migrated roughly 50 plus brand sites across 12 markets onto our product platform in a span of 10 months. And majority of that migration team was based out of our technology lab in Bangalore, working closely with their counterparts in New York and London. So that was a phenomenal achievement. So to me, the technology lab has added so much value in the short time that we've been in business here in India. So I'm really looking forward to continued greater contribution from the teams we have here to help us, working with the teams in New York, London, and in other markets to help us build great products and get them out to the market, very, very quickly. So diversity and inclusion is a very, very important priority for Conde Nast globally as a company. It is part of our Conde Code that we have established, and there is a huge focus from a company standpoint on making sure that we have a very diverse and inclusive culture and a very diverse workforce. So a lot of initiatives are in play to make sure we hit we have, as a company and as a leadership, we measure ourselves, with very clear KPIs around diversity and inclusion. When we started the technology lab, we were very clear that this had to be one of our big priorities as we started building our workforce here. So we set very clear goals for us. We wanted to hit, 50% women in our workforce. And that's a very aspirational goal, because if you look at the tech industry in general in India, the average is roughly around 25 to 30%. And I'm very proud to say that out of the 500 people we have hired today, we are over 35% women. I believe the last number I saw was about 37%. But we are not happy with it yet. We want to get to that 50% target, so we're actively working on how we get there. As we are looking to hire, for every role, we are looking at a very, very diverse slate of candidates. We are looking, to prioritize women candidates so we can really bring that diversity into our company. Even when we go for campus recruitment, as we are looking at candidates, we hire 10, 15 candidates every year. So for each cohort, we are ensuring that we are hiring at least 70, 80% women candidates. So that's really helping us build our diversity numbers. And very recently, just this week, we had about 6 women who joined Conde Nast as part of our Break the Break program, which is a phenomenal program that we've advertised on social media and other places. It gives people who have been out of the workforce for a period of time due to various reasons, family reasons and otherwise, to get back into the workforce. So I'm really proud to say that the tremendous amount of work has been put in by our team in India in terms of designing this program. It's very well thought out. We've been talking about it for over 6 months because we really wanted to put a very good structure in place in terms of the kind of training programs and the onboarding structure that we have for these people who have taken very long breaks, anywhere between 18 months to 4+ years. And it's very hard when you're trying to come back into the workforce after a huge gap. So we are very conscious of that, and we wanted to make sure that these candidates feel secure in this environment. They feel happy, they feel comfortable, and they feel empowered to take on the jobs and work shoulder to shoulder with other people who not had a break in their career. So I'm very excited and very proud to say that we have 6 women who started this week, and we hope to continue that program, and we hope to bring in more people in the next cohort we have as we go into our next year.